Good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever in the world you are. My name's Rose Smith and I'm on the beautiful Gold Coast in Australia at the moment. I'm actually sucking on a lozenge as I speak because I've got the Queensland flu still. So today it was a bit worse. So I can keep on talking, I've had to suck on a lozenge. Sorry. Alrighty, so we're doing pick a card. So I want you now to close your eyes and get really centered and imagine you have both feet on the ground if you can, and imagine that you have long tap roots growing out of your feet down into the earth, and those tap roots are holding you secure and firm. Okay, now just ask Spirit for a number 1 to 5, between 1 and 5. Pick a number, any number, 1 to 5. If you're having problems picking a number because you can't choose, you can have more than one number, okay? But which number jumps out to you the most? Okay, thank you. I've got my number. It literally sprang straight into my head. So we've all got our numbers now, so let's pick the card. Alrighty, we're going for card number 1, and I'm shuffling up the cards as I speak. And there we go. 1 is looking very noticeable, and it's the 9 of Swords. Okay, this is indicating a situation that you may have recently been through, and it's been quite difficult. The good news is that it's nearly over. You're at the end of the cycle. Okay, so then the next number is 10. That's a 1 and a 0. That's where you're going to. A 1 and a 0 is all about new beginnings, but you have to wait. It's like being pregnant. But 9 is the completion. 9 is the end of a cycle. It's like you're about to go into a new chapter of your life. However, you still have a few things left that you need to do before you can move forward. Now, this lady, you'll notice she has the colour purple, which is sometimes indicative of royalty, in fact, and it's a very spiritual colour, purple. It's always been, I mean, I love all colours except grey. I don't like grey, but I love all colours, but I've always had a particular penchant for purple. When I was 12, I painted my wardrobe purple. So you'll see she's got purple, and it's a very spiritual colour. Okay, it's a time where you need to feel your fears. With all those swords, there's probably a lot of thinking going on, things that have happened that you keep mulling over and over and over in your mind. And that's okay to a certain point, but then you can just be beating yourself up with your thinking, your constant racing thoughts, and it's just too much. So don't overdo the thinking. It's better to go and have a cry, a lie down and a cry, than keep going over it in your head over and over and over again, because there's only so much thinking you can do when a situation is unknowable or you don't have control in a situation. You may not have control of that situation, but you always have control of your response to that situation. Okay, so you're coming to the end. So that's actually good news. Alrighty, so let's put that up on the pick a card board that my husband made for me. Alrighty, now next card is number 2. So if you've picked number 2, let's see what comes out. Number 2 for pick a card, 27th of May 2019. And we're getting the 7 of Cups, okay? Cups is a very emotional sort of energy, and she actually looks like she's saying no, doesn't she? Often with the 7, there's a sacrifice. It's like you've been through something, but it's a very spiritual type of energy too, the number 7. So see there? Look how intuitive she looks. Getting in touch with your psychic ability and your intuition, but sometimes there's a cost to being psychic. You know, it doesn't necessarily come easy, and it can be a double-edged sword in some situations. So Cups, all about your emotions, okay? Now, let me just see. Yes, I can see some of you taking action steps. It's about moving on, getting free, getting prepared for the next part of your life. It's sort of not exactly the same as card number 1 because there's it's more a spiritual element than just an emotional element happening there with the 7 of Cups. It's sort of both. But moving on, and there's an angel actually in the cups. Here, you'll see that there's an angel, and that's guiding and protecting her. Okay, so that's card number 2. If you pick card number 2. Alrighty. Card number 3. Let's go with that. Focusing on card number 3, May 27, 2019. Yeah, doors opening, opportunities. I see it's like an old brown door. It's very, very ancient. It's like stuff from the past is being released. And we've got the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, 5 of Pentacles. Now, this can be a very creative kind of energy, and it can also indicate that something's been lost, but not everything's been lost. I often think of like 5 cups, and a couple have been knocked over and 3 remain upright. So a little disappointing, but lesson learnt. And also it's on a physical realm. So please be careful with things like money, that you do not overspend, because this could certainly indicate additional expenses this week or some disappointment. Okay. And now we'll move on to card number 4. Card number 4, May 27, 2019. If you've picked this number, you've come up with the King of Cups. Okay, this is a nice one. The King of Cups. Okay, being really in touch with your feelings, being in control of your emotions. Look at the sun there in the background shining through the clouds, coming out through the clouds. The king, he rules over all he surveys, and it's like emotions are in balance, and you've got the full, what would you say, the full gamut of your emotions, and your life is more balanced, and there's some harmony and happiness coming this week, which is great. Harmony and happiness. Okay, and you see there in that card is actually sitting in, it looks like a clamshell, so in touch with the subconscious and emotional and spiritual realities. Okay, that's fantastic. Well done if you've picked number 4. Okay, let's go now with number 5. Number 5 is live. Card number 5 for May 27, 2019. Okay, I've got a Cinderella carriage, like Cinderella with the glass shoe, the glass slipper, and it's like she's coming up to the ball. That's what I see. And we get the Justice card. Okay, so justice will be done, and it's all about balance. And I'm talking about natural law. I'm not talking about human law, although sometimes human law can be involved in this. If you've got a court case coming or something to do with legal authorities, natural law will be done. And so that's natural law, L-O-R-E rather than L-A-W, okay? Now, see the lady there, she's blindfolded, and she's actually, traditionally, she's like weighing up and she's got a sword in one hand and a set of scales in the other, you can see. So sword's all about dissecting and analysing and cutting through to get to the truth. The set of scales, it's like even though you can't see the full picture, you've got to weigh up the situation with the evidence in front of you, okay? And that's what she's actually doing, weighing up the evidence. So you go by your intuition and your, spirit, using discernment, so you know what the situation is and what the outcome will be. So if you've got a court case or you're dealing with legal authorities or lawyers or people like that, ask for the spirit of justice to come in and help you this week. Alrighty, so that's card number 5. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'd love to see you again next week. Next Monday, it will be 8 o'clock Sydney, Australia time for your vibe of the week, your weekly reading. And if you need a reading in the meantime, please go to my network, absolutesoulsecrets.com. If you like this post, I would really appreciate that. And also subscribe and leave a comment. I always try to answer my comments. Thank you very much for tuning in, and bye for now.